Hi crafters, it's Karen. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my 10th scrapping off the rack process video. I'm scrapbooking these cute pictures of me and Joe and our granddaughter Alyssa. We had taken her for a walk this time, and I'm using the paper stack called Sea Glass from Craftsmith, and this is a paper stack that was available at Michael's at one time. It might still be at your store. My store doesn't have it anymore. But anyway, obviously it's a beach themed paper stack and I just love it. See the wood grain there? There's different colors of wood grain paper in it. I love the teal blues and the olive greens in it. I really am drawn to those colors. So I'm going to use my espresso distress ink to outline all of the papers that I use in my layers. Because this paper doesn't have really a white base to it, it's more like a off-white base to it. So that's why I tend to think in more in vintage tones when using this paper collection. But I just love this paper stack. So I'm just working out some layers, and I felt like this particular sheet did need a little bit of white just to brighten up this particular layer. So I did a very tight layer of white around this. It's like a lime olive color, and the white will play off of the clouds in the pictures. So that's why I felt like it needed to be brighter. And because it is, we're not really at the beach, but we are near the water, sitting by an old abandoned, little fishing boat. And I wanted to bring in some burlap just for texture. And, I always tend to bring in burlap when I do pictures of, at the beach or something. So I thought this trim from Hobby Lobby would look real sweet along this layer here, and I'm adhering it on the underside because I don't want the edge to show, just the decorative edge. You'll be able to see that in the photos at the end. So I love the way that olive color design paper there matches the grass in the pictures. It's just such a beautiful match there, So I decided I'm going to mat both of my photos on white cardstock as well, just a real tight mat, and then I'm going to mat them both together on this like off-white wood grain type paper. And again, I'm using my espresso distress ink along all the edges. Now that little baggie there that you see that I grabbed, when I first get a paper stack, like, from Michael's or DCWB, the type of paper stacks that you can't really buy embellishments for, I tend to take the paper stack, and if there's a floral sheet, for example, I'll fussy cut the florals out. I'll always take out one of the cut apart sheets and cut out all the tags or what have you, and I'll make my own embellishments or create my own ephemera for each of the paper stacks. So that's what that baggie is. I had fussy cut a sheet of, see those pretty flowers there on the left on that brown paper? There was a whole sheet of flowers like that, so I fussy cut a bunch of them to use, and I'm going to use a few of them in this layout. See there in the bottom left. There's also a tag there that little banner that I'm working with says "Adventure Awaits," and I'm going to go ahead and use that as my title. I'm taking the easy way out. And it was this particular day, it was a very cool walk because it's not that we went far, but we did see a lot of things. We went by the water, and then we went up a dock, and we saw some otters. It was just very cool. she really had a ball with us. So I'm arranging these flowers and deciding which shapes and, you know, do I want to use where, how much of the flowers do I want to use. So I know I'm going to have to put some of them on foam tape because I want them to sit a little bit higher. I want them to be definitely layered. I'm going to put my photo mat on a foam sheet as well. And now I'm going to do the same thing with some of these flowers. I'm going to adhere some down straight up on the background, but then a few of them I'm going to cut up my foam sheets and so that they could be dimensional. And I buy those foam sheets, I buy the ones that already have the adhesive on the back, just because it's easier for me. It's a couple dollars more when you get a pack of them, but for me, it saves on the adhesive for one. It just makes it easier. And it's always easy to tear off that paper on the back of it. So this is a little metal piece that I had dropped into that baggie of ephemera that I had, and I thought I would use it as well, just as another texture in my layout. It's like a little metal doily, half of a little metal doily. So I'm using my mixed media glue to adhere it. I'm going to give it just a drop of hot glue just to adhere it until the mixed media glue dries. It's the mixed media glue by Recollections that I'm using. Now these clouds here from Recollections, these are so stinking cute. In every layout I do, I try to use these things because they are adorable clouds. I don't know if you could tell, but there's glitter on those clouds and they are so dimensional. They're super sweet. But I put them on a layout and like 5 minutes later I think, yeah, that's not going to work, and I take them off, and so what is it, 3 months later I still have this whole pack of clouds. I'm gonna keep trying to use them up though. They're so cute. See, it's not gonna work on this layout. So here's another box of ephemera that I've cut with the gold foil sheets that I have. One day I didn't have any mojo like to do anything creative, so I just took out my dies and I took out some gold foil paper and also some silver foil paper, and I just used my dies and cut a bunch of my dies out of the gold foil paper. That way when I do want to look for a gold accent, just a little something for a layout, I could just go inside that little box. Now this is the little bowl that, you know, we all have one of these on our desk, right? That has a bunch of little doodads and doohickeys and, you know, things that we just drop in there. So I find a couple of things in there to use on this layout. I'm going to use that. This piece here is cut from a Tim Holtz Sizzix die, and it's cut from that faux leather from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to adhere that. I love the way that looks. It kind of looks like a fence, you know, and it just matches the layout real nice, I thought. And then that bird, they had a pack of those at one time or another in the $1.50 spot at Michael's. It's just like a little bird sitting on a perch, or in the position that it's sitting on a perch. So I just set it up on that, on the triangles there, and I thought that worked real well. Looked real cute for this particular layout. Now I'm going through my little bits and pieces to see what else I could use. I wanted to use this palm tree from Diamond Dies that I created a while back, and it's something else that I always take out and try to put on a layout, but I haven't been able to find the right spot for it. So these are other little flower pieces that I had fussy cut, and I'm going to put one there behind the bird, and this other little one I'm going to put up near the metal piece in the upper right there, just for another little floral touch. And now these are, I believe they're my mind's eye enamel dots, but I love the different sizes that it comes in, and the colors are perfect for this particular collection, which is why I keep it in that little ephemera pack that I made to go with this paper stack. So just a couple of groups of enamel dots, and I'm thinking maybe I need to put something else somewhere. Those little final touches, because it just doesn't look done. So I'm going to use another piece of this flower for the bottom edge of the photo mat, and I think that covers the corner, or takes care of the corner real nice. And now I'm going to give my layout some splatters. I'm going to water down a little bit, just a little bit of white acrylic paint, and use my splatters. And I've been practicing so as not to get it everywhere. Because when I use that fan brush, I really need to start practicing. But it goes everywhere. But that's the layout for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Check out the pictures coming up, and I'm sure I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.